On Fox News, they're trying to dispute climate change. Of course. So they're going to bring in an analyst. She's their stocks editor. Okay. Now, so it makes some sense because she's going to talk about insurance companies. And they don't actually love what she's about to say because the insurance companies are definitely taking climate change into account. But also notice what she says in the beginning. Even though she's right about the insurance companies and the business aspect of it, look at her excuse on what's causing climate change. Let's watch.
Just a few days after Hurricane Sanday, and Democrats are already blaming it on climate change. And we expect that from Al Gore, but from New York Governor Andrew Cuomo during his press conference, his emergency press conference.
There has been a series of extreme weather incidents. Anyone that's not a political statement, that is a factual statement. Anyone who says there's not a dramatic change in weather patterns, I think is denying reality.
All right, well, he's not alone. Congressman Henry Waxman is calling for a congressional hearing into the matter. So let's start with you, Liz.
You know, Oxford University, places like the St. Petersburg Atmospheric Observatory, they all say there's climate change, but the problem is there's no consensus on what's causing it. Is it solar flares? Is it the Mars wobbles? Is it the Earth's axis tilting in a different way? I mean, that's the issue, but Lehman Brothers was accounting for it in their analysis. So was Sanford Bernstein, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs. They're all saying, and the insurance industry is saying, yes, there is climate change.
But yeah, okay, but is the Governor Cuomo, is he correct in saying, yes, there are more extreme weather events?
It seems that way since 1980 if you look at insurance industry models.
So, yes, how many different ways do I have to tell you? There is climate change, and I'm telling you the insurance companies are adjusting their prices because they believe there's climate change. And if the money dictates it, doesn't Fox Business agree? No, Stuart Varney. It's like, but wait a minute. Okay, but even in the midst of her correct answer, she's like, well, I don't know what's causing it. I mean, it could be solar flares. It could be a lot of flashlights. It could be Mars wobbles. That's what she said. wait a minute. I don't know if you know this, but we're not on Mars. No, seriously, this crazy theory put out by one scientist, and it's actually not even that crazy because it's not really related to us. It says the climate swings are much more extreme in Mars, which is true, because their planet has an orbit and it wobbles more than Earth does. But we don't have the same situation as Mars. We're not the same planet. We don't wobble as much. You know why Mars wobbles more? Because it doesn't have a large moon. We have a moon. It's a different planet. They're awesome. Well, I tell you, climate change on Pluto is because of the flares and the wobbles, so probably the same thing here, except for the fact that we have a totally different set of circumstances here. Okay. Well, on the other hand, there's always this kind of genius explanation going on at Fox News.
Tide goes in, tide goes out. Never a miscommunication. You can't explain that. You can explain why the tide goes in.
Tide goes in, tide goes out.
See, the water, the tide comes in and it goes out, Mr. Silverman.
Maybe
it always
it's
comes
Thor
in,
on top of Mount Olympus who's making the tides go in and out.
No, but you can't explain that.
But wait a minute. The tide doesn't go in and out on Mars because there's no water and there's no moon. What a bunch of jokers, man. When the facts are against you, well, what are you going to do? You got to go to this insanity. Tide goes in, tide goes out, there's Mars wobbles, obviously no climate change. Ha ha, Al Gore. God, these guys are unbelievable, man.